MIF launches 20 million Ghana Cedi scholarship scheme to boost women's participation in mining. The initiative, launched in partnership with the University of Mines and Technology, seeks to increase female representation in an industry traditionally dominated by men. MIIF CEO Edward Nanaya Okrantin, speaking with Nation One TV at the launch, emphasized the critical importance of investing in human capital alongside financial investments in the mining sector. He established that the scholarship program aims to support up to 100 women annually from needy families in mining communities, focusing on bright students pursuing STEM courses, particularly in engineering and metallurgy, which is part of MIIF's broader strategy to align human resource development with government policies and funds objectives. Mr. Quarantine highlighted the stark gender imbalance in the mining industry on the research, which indicates that increased female participation in the sector leads to greater value creation. The CEO stressed on the paramount importance of human capital in national development, particularly in the context of national resource management towards strategic plans in expanding the program's scope, he said.
So we believe that just investing in equity, investing in the value chain, etc., without investing in the human capacity or human development, will just take us really, we'll hit a wall at a point in time, because for Ghana to be able to transform and have mining as the first pillar of the economy, we need that human resource to sort of align with the policies that government is putting up, like local content, etc. Again, align with what Miif is doing, which is to ensure that we use the dividend from the carried interest and the royalties to invest in Ghana more value for mining and for Ghana. So there has to be that symbiotic relationship between human resource development and policy and what Miif is doing. So we thought far and recognized that one area that we have to be deliberate with has to do with education, has to do with STEM, but we also have to look at where there's a dearth. Where we recognize the dearth is the woman or the woman involvement in mining. There's a huge disparity between, there's a huge gender disparity. So if you look at mining, for example, you have just about 9% of women in mining, especially when it comes to mainstream mining. You look at the C-suite of mining is even less than 9%. And if research will tell you that the more you invest in women, the more you have women in the sector, the more value that is created for the sector. And so we had to put in a deliberate effort to bring women into the mainstream. We decided to concentrate on the mining communities because this is where mining most impacts, and this is where the activities really take place. So we're looking at up to 100 women a year from needy families, from mining communities that will support to look at, especially the brilliant ones, not, so the brilliant women in mining communities, to support them to take in, especially courses like engineering, what we will call STEM, but engineering, metallurgy, etc. So this is what really influenced our decision. As at 2021, our asset under management was around $185–190 million. As we speak, our asset under management is about $1 billion. That makes us one of the fastest growing sovereign wealth funds or specialty sovereign wealth funds in the world. Investments should not just cover the investments in equities or value chain or value delivery, but investment must cover your human capital. In fact, the most important investment any corporate entity can make is in the human resource. And for us to be able to garner the value that we seek to, especially when it comes to mining, and we can't say that it's too early. It's almost like the free SHS. I know we have the arguments that we should wait 10, 20 years before we implement free SHS, but the negative social impact does not wait for you. As quickly as possible, you need to make sure that you have an even investment outlook, where you look at what you have to do in terms of investments to be able to get your ROI, returns on investment, etc. But what people fail to realize is that investment in human capital is actually perhaps even more important. As we see in the mining sector, the resources are good, but the resources do not develop a nation. It is brains that develop a nation. You need to use those brains to be able to create something from the wealth, leverage on that wealth that is under the ground. Adan Songo salt is 41,000 acres of pure 99.9% industrial salt. Salt has about 14,000 uses and drives industry. So you use salt for textiles, pharmaceuticals, caustic soda, all those things, even alloys, even for wood construction in the West. So 14,000 uses. You think about it, that is what you actually need to transform or to support industry. Even the growth of chemicals, even the potential of setting up chemical cities in places like Adan, etc. So we see the potential of salt way beyond just salt and exporting of salt. So we see it as a priority. The investment in Adan Songo through Electrochem will make Adan the biggest salt producing area in sub-Saharan Africa. 41,000 acres. The current one is 16,700 acres. That's in Namibia, Walvis Bay. 41,000 acres in Ghana. Adan is 3 times the size of Walvis Bay. So I just want us all to imagine the potential. So we've already invested in it. We've invested $30 million. That is going into expansion. As we speak right now, Adan has the biggest loading bay or export bay in the whole of Africa when it comes to salt. It is important too that all of us benefit from this. And that is why we have, as part of our investment guidelines, we have signed an MOU with the Ghana Stock Exchange that every investment that we make should be listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange so that Ghanaians can have a piece of it as well. Investment in shares, but even on the capital markets. You sit back and ask yourself, is just purchasing or investing in equity enough? In our view, maybe that's not enough. In our view, we need to make sure that the people of Ghana really benefit from these resources. Listing on the capital markets of this investment, having a gold-backed ETF supported by the gold that you produce here or you mine here, should be able to, it should be made available through some form of an exchange. And that's why the gold-backed ETF is important. That's why we are saying that every investment that we make will list on the Ghana Stock Exchange, so that we all benefit.
So, by any so I didn't scholarship will give up to the Amma and Ma. So the Bebo what to mean so I venture into mining and related fields in STEM fields. They are there a ball, my basso. Sunset, me, I'm mineral engineering or UMaT. UMaT, we answer no money or more ISR partnership. My parents, some 21 years ago, they call UMaT. Now, my class and I'm mad also part. My department and I'm mad also investing. I'm mad for and I want my class. As I phone, I'm going to door so far. Together with the Minister for Gender, the CEO and Board Chair of Miif, and all.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.